Yu Menglong's final unreleased song, now whispered as the light of Menglong, has stunned fans and critics alike with its eerie foresight and poetic depth. Recorded in solitude, the lyrics whisper secrets of betrayal, loss, and a destiny sealed long before his tragic death. In a dim-lit studio, Menglong sat alone, his voice a tremble, his heart a stone. He penned a verse that chilled the air, of shadows creeping, of silent despair. When the peach tree blooms, I'll fade away, a ghost in spring, no soul to stay. He sang of love that turned to dust, of friends who broke his sacred trust. The melody was haunting, slow and deep, a lullaby for those who never sleep. He layered whispers in the track, a coded cry he'd never take back. The sessions were secret, the lights kept low. Only the moon knew where he'd go. He recorded at night, with trembling hands, as if fate had drawn his final plans. Producers recall his distant gaze, a man entranced in sorrow's maze. He'd pause midline, then softly sigh, as if each note said goodbye. I walk alone where stars don't shine, my name erased, no longer mine. He added echoes like distant screams, a sonic map of broken dreams. The song's bridge was a cryptic spell, a tale of heaven turned to hell. If justice sleeps, then I must wake, and leave behind what others take. Fans now dissect each line with care, finding clues that weren't there. Run when the peach turns red, he wrote, a warning wrapped in a velvet note. The chorus swelled with ghostly grace. I'll vanish without a trace. And true to word, he disappeared, leaving behind the fate he feared. Rumors swirled of a hidden feud, of fame that turned from sweet to crude. Some say the song was meant to warn, of truths too sharp, of hearts too torn. He'd battled demons, fame's cruel tide, and kept his pain locked deep inside. They smile, they cheer, but never see the man behind the melody. The track was shelved, too raw to share, a mirror cracked beyond repair. But after his death, it surfaced bright, a requiem bathed in lunar light. 6 days posthumous, the song went live, and fans felt chills, as if revived. The world stood still, the air grew thin, as Menglong's voice poured from within. Streaming sites crashed from sudden demand, as listeners reached with trembling hands. The song climbed charts like ghostly wings, a hymn of fate that softly stings. Celebrities wept, Liu Yuning cried. On stage he broke, his voice denied. He knew, he said, he saw the end, and sang it out without a friend. Each verse now reads like prophecy, a coded tale of tragedy. The light will dim, the peach will fall, and silence will consume it all. Fans found dates in lyric lines that matched his death like hidden signs. On the 11th I'll be gone, a line that chills like winter's dawn. The bridge repeats a cryptic phrase, justice sleeps in golden haze, now linked to trials and secret fights that plagued his final sleepless nights. The song sparked rage, a call for truth, from grieving fans and shaken youth. Hashtags trended, protests grew, demanding answers overdue. We won't be silenced, stars declared, as Menglong's fate was widely shared. His song became a battle cry, for justice lost and reasons why. The industry shook, secrets spilled, and stories once suppressed were filled. He sang for those who couldn't speak, for souls unheard, for hearts too weak. Though Menglong's gone, his voice remains, a beacon through the darkest rains. His song now plays in sacred halls, a hymn that breaks through gilded walls. I'll rise again when truth is sung, my fate undone, my soul among. His final note, a vow to fight, a spark that turned to blinding light. The unreleased track, now fully known, is more than music, it's a throne, a crown of pain, a robe of flame, a legacy that bears his name. In silence thick as velvet night, Menglong wrote by candlelight. No engineers, no guiding hand, just him, a mic, and fate's command. The studio walls were cold and bare, a single peach bloom placed with care. He lit incense, bowed his head, and sang as if already dead. The first line trembled, soft and slow. I walk where no one dares to go. His breath was mist, his tone was steel, a voice too raw, too real to feel. He tapped the keys with ghostly grace, each chord a tear upon his face. The beat was slow, a funeral drum, a rhythm carved from what's to come. He layered sounds like falling leaves, a whisper here, a cry that grieves. He hummed a note that bent the air, a siren song of deep despair. When peach trees bloom, I'll fade from view, my name erased, my soul untrue. He sang of masks and silent screams, of shattered hopes and broken dreams. The mic crackled with static pain, as if it knew this was his bane. He paused, then laughed, a hollow sound, like bones beneath a burial mound. They'll cheer my fall, then wear my crown, while I dissolve and tumble down. He added strings that wept like rain, a cello moan, a violin strain. Outside, the wind began to howl, as if the night had sensed a foul. The peach bloom trembled on its stem, a fragile sign, a sacred gem. He turned to it and softly said, "You'll bloom again when I am dead." Then back to song his fingers flew, as if possessed by something new. The bridge was sharp, a dagger's kiss, a line that fans would never miss. If justice sleeps, then I must wake, and leave behind what others take. He sang of trials, of hidden wars, of fame that feeds behind closed doors. They smile, they cheer, but never see the man behind the melody. He added echoes, ghostly cries, a child's laugh, a lover's lies. The track grew thick with layered sound, a haunted hymn, a battleground. I'll vanish when the peach turns red, and silence sings what's left unsaid. He looped that line again, as if to brand it in our brain. Then came the final verse, so still, it froze the room, it bent the will. I'll rise again when truth is sung, my fate undone, my soul among. He whispered it, then let it fade. A vow, a curse, a serenade. The lights flickered, the bloom fell down, and Menglong smiled, no trace of frown. He saved the file, then locked the door, and vanished from the studio floor. No one knew what he had made, a song that danced with death's own blade. The peach bloom dried, the incense died, and silence claimed the room with pride. Producers found the track too raw, too full of pain, too sharp with flaw. He's cracked, they said. This won't be played. It's not a hit, it's just a shade. So it was shelved, a ghost in vault, a masterpiece they chose to halt. But Menglong knew he'd sung his fate, and left the rest to time and hate. Now fans replay that first refrain, and feel the chill, the phantom pain. I walk alone where stars don't shine, my name erased, no longer mine. They hear the truth, the hidden plea, the man who sang to set us free. And in that room, still locked and bare, the peach tree blooms with ghostly flare. Some say at night, his voice returns, a spectral hum that softly burns, a song that knew what none could see, a prophecy in melody.